Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Winter air? Where the fuck are we? That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like he got on any of us. It didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Crunch, 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 crunch. Looks like we aren't getting back that way. Crunch, 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 crunch. This looks familiar. Yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time. Nuncreed's getting away. What the fuck? Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines. This does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. Ah, I got it! It's so obvious now! Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Hello. Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. Final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. Get used to it. We should keep moving. Okay, so if this is a replica of Beacon Pines, this would be my house, I think. Oh, there isn't actually anything over here. I was even over here earlier. I should have checked. There's nothing here. Okay. Crunch, 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 crunch. There's waste rails everywhere. I feel like some sort of like nuclear. Like, is this a nuclear winter?
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you, this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Man, what's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this
Mr.
moment.
Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not
They
true.
both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. We just had different ideas about how to effect change. Very convenient that your wages haven't lined your pockets. Now, that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And in the stillness, he began to weep.
And in the
That's my only
stillness,
option.
he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This'll all make sense soon, Luca. Then everything can go back to normal. I
She
promise.
stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper,
Ignoring
don't!
his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to.
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
We froze the town
Gran
again.
only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror, there was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end.
I need to
Well,
stop freezing the
was
fucking
dire.
town. What the hell?
The bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Okay, so for me to even get a continue that, I need to go back to the other branch. So in this branch, me and Rolo go to the warehouse together. Something happens though, and he is not available to hang out the next day when we meet Beck, the cat, the new kid in town. It was for this one. Right, no, Rolo goes missing, right. Rolo goes missing. Because, like, we go we go to the warehouse together. He leaves first and runs off into the forest at night, and I try and follow, and then I follow, but I find out next morning he's missing. So yeah, Rolo is missing. So we go looking around for him. We run into the Tubblies in town. And when we act strange, I don't know what the one is. Like, obviously the one's a rhino. I want to say the other one's like a fennec fox. I don't know. But the short guy gets pushed into a puddle of ooze and he gets affected by it. And then, which led to this, and we fight. Because, yeah, we get surrounded by the Mr. Kerr and the clipboard. Because they're looking for him. I forget his name. Iggy. The bully's name is Iggy. Yeah, they're looking for Iggy. What are you doing? There's no hope. Iggy wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca? Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
What? I'm trying to give you attention. Oh. Give me your toesies. You're stuck now. You're mine. Cat break. Oh. Are you gonna sit on my lap? I feel like I'm gonna get attacked here. It's been a while since you've actually just sat on my desk. There, is that enough room for you? She also, like, moved my microphone somehow. My tail is my tail now. Alright, let's see how well I can do this. She's like kind of in my keyboard space. Oh, can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr, we'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. You jerks. Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across the snowy terrain.
Oh. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. And yeah, we're in this area now. Luca? Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo Kerr. Oh, Kerr. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those
Luca
woods.
looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be
With a
rude.
resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. Oh, he speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents. I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
He has something to do with her disappearance. We gotta keep moving. Her definitely has something to do with his mother's disappearance, like, abso-fucking-lutely.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? It is. I've never seen one like it. Uh-oh. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Okay, so I think what happened is, yeah, the foul harvest actually created nuclear winter in the town. So what Kerr did is he rebuilt the town somewhere else. And it also seems like it's spreading, because, like, they were talking about it, it's spreading. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weep Wood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. I don't think I can get rid of the snow. Nope.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
It doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines. How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around? Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. Puddle we fought at before. It was cold, too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? I'm gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Looks like the stuff they put up around Weep Wood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here? It happened fast. The fish didn't even have time to run. Or, swim run. Oh my gosh, I have a cat tail on my keyboard. This stuff look familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into. Yeah.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled, the town is destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Maybe you should find some shelter, kids. That's not the... If you're gonna sleep, it's a bad idea to sleep in the middle of... there. Let's just rest for a bit.
They huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day.
Where are you going? Here's your tower. Sit.
As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Sit. Alright, I finally have a tail out of my face. Oh, you're such a weirdo. She's looking up at the calyx, thinking bad things. No. Huh? Getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. I did lose my temper.
He motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. That's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission
Iggy
control.
now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. this perfect little life. And life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have
He
Tish.
wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. She ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know.
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that
He
impression.
cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh. It must be raining out here. Definitely.
He arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all of
Luca's
this.
eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Again, that is a bad spot to take a fucking nap. Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad. Aww.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall.
Who is
It
that?
stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands
Whether
off
it was
me.
the calming presence or the
Oh, it's that
recognition that he
little
was not in danger,
mouse.
Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're
Luca
doing?
looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me,
When
you.
it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend? An observer? A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great, how about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very
Nat
well.
began to turn away indifferently.
Wait! Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. Gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back
Luca
home.
and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay,
For
open
a
them.
brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weep Wood, or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. This is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines, the original, true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. You would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable, a mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why,
Luca
indeed.
began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they
Looked
could.
down at his feet, His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out.
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived.
Why is Nat here, though? Like,
He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to Perennial Harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
you're here. All this time, I thought I was visiting you. You've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. I ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Ted, what do I
There was
do?
no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
He finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh, Iggy. He stole his tree, Iggy! Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. 259k. Fall off distance still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. Ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. About everything we left behind. That's the grave of someone with a family. People who love them will never know the truth. The truth is
He bent down
overrated.
to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah, come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on
Luca
graves.
stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some
Iggy gave Luca
advice.
a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover? Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did! They lied to everyone! Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. Did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at ya, acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Her and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a
Luca wiped his
source.
eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to
He
smash?
flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. I already know where the source is because we did the other little branch. But anyways, I do need to take a quick break to get some more water, so I will be right back, everyone. Alright, I'm back. I was actually back during the ad break, but you know what? I figured I'd let the ad break roll. Okay. Um... It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. It helps on the way. Where's Rolo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to
Iggy and
you?
Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Agreed. I already told you I hated that guy. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or
Luca
another.
rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you
Iggy
didn't.
stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks, so I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Look, got grounded for months, which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under that tree. But when I came back from later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and
Iggy
tossed them.
triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved, it was us. Unbelievable. Oh, great. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who is in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast off, loser. I wonder if that's also why the bugs are disappearing in the replica town, because it's just getting too cold for them. Like, is it starting to spread? Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo, 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 echo. Oh, I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source. The dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Kerr, where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't
Mr.
you?
Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined.
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us. You are a smart
His
boy.
face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Excuse me. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional, such as myself, embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks and you don't?
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. But that's far
Iggy
enough.
plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool! Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like
With
this?
a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Oh,
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
you reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How, what channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kerr's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die. Seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
A long life? I'll have you know, I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phileas
The
Young.
wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Hurt. Just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's
Luca felt
okay.
Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no!
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in
Calm
packs.
settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do
Iggy's
this.
voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. I think if I do accept, it's gonna turn everything to ice again. Don't know.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Well, if I could buy Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. But quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course, those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. Ow. Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself, but doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the hole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that
We have
case.
some idea what that would look like.
Yes, yes we do. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all of this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. For what? You. Me? Why? What's my
A
role?
fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you're going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder. Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm?
Oh, wait. It's trying to say no, 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 no. It's trying to say there's some sort of charm I need.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger?
No,
just
no,
when
no,
it
no.
was
We
getting good?
need a different charm.
I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels.
Thank you.
Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Okay. So yeah, it's definitely saying that I need some sort of different charm. Because the 2 was highlighted. Let's go really far back. Let's go here. When Iggy was bullying me. The tickles.
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, wanna see something cool? Yup. Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms.
What the? Tish, is she tickling you? Yup. Yup. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter.
Yup. Yup. Yup.
Redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough.
What just happened? She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening
Iggy's
us.
eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered. I have somewhere to be. See you around, new kid.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
Oh no! Whoa. What a little creep. Beck, I think you got a little ooze in your hair.
Shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad? It depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh god.
Chapter 4.
Uh-oh.
The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her, but finding Rollo was his primary concern.
Well, now that we can free roam again, I definitely need to try some words at certain spots. Like the fishing spot. Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? Why did a kid with gray hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? We were just helping look for Rollo. Luca, I need you to start telling me the
Roxy's
truth.
temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of
In a
time.
torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Ro and I were just playing in Weep Woods yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. But someone was there in a strange suit, and we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us. And I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home, and it's all my fault. Now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. Rollo's gonna be okay, I
Roxy
promise.
drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I want to help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to that little treehouse you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sound like a
Luca
plan?
wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Back to the treehouse. Talk to the bunny. Anything over here today? Doesn't look like it. Like I have to excuse me. I have to go through town anyways, so we'll see if the diner's open. It might not be.
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who were you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. But the dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. The whole thing's a waste of money, if you ask me. Any word from Rollo yet? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rollo knows those woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics have this whole town worried sick. Antics? We all know Rollo likes to play his little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Don't trust him. Dang it, boy, if there is something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
Shame?
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rollo, maybe he could help.
Yesterday, Rollo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rollo when he went missing? Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first, we were just looking around, and someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster. But it wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you
Luca
safe.
attempted to take a step back.
Yeah.
Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourselves, can you? You were all so close to being done with
With a
this.
firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? It's out of my
The
hands
door
now.
latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No. This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
We got so many I can't do anything else there. So we could refuse there. Yeah, I think we go back to over here and we refuse.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last
Excuse me.
time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
I was hoping that would give me another charm, but no. Damn. Okay. Back all the way over here, where we're finding out Grandma's plans. And we follow Mr. Nuncreed through the tube. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed as if to give him the stage, and in the stillness, he began to hum.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. Luca lifted his head in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
Oh, do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Rue, the only people who call me that are my dad and your mother.
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Oh, that's right, buckaroo.
sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. You should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
How? You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd pieced it together by now. You were exposed. I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca. But I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. But the more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until perennial harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luca. They won't stop until they get what they want. And they don't care who gets hurt in the process. What do we do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with
For
fire.
the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now. There's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard
Luca
truth.
gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago.
Flashback!
Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Back to present day. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me, I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you, you sniveling little worm? This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't y'all see this festival is a sham? An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true, and now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is. That's quite enough, Mr. Nungreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Ah, the tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir, of course. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on
Solomon
out.
pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper
His
Valentine.
body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No. Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Ha, wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Does anyone else have something to contribute?
Helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy, I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement, but Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. A legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about? It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? You think that puffed up latherskite could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned
Mr.
it.
Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire, at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you, the young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do, given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought, but well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer.
Oh, maybe because you're using this fucking material that's, essentially making nuclear winter.
This is wrong, but Things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
So we go back here. This is back to Rollo is missing. There was a malice lurking behind those eyes.
Lurking behind those eyes.
Excuse me.
Like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this to all be over. Of course, I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rollo at the treehouse.
Free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. You killed my dad! It's your fault! It is absolutely his fucking fault. Whereas, like, okay, Kerr's real name, that actor, it was actually, it's like in the library. He looked down and muttered in a gruff voice. Mom always told me my problems would look smaller once I grow up, but my problems always seemed to grow right along with me. Heavens, I sense big trouble ahead. These festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled. It would be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
No, let me in! Let me in! Head on. Head on. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modwell. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Whoa, you could get a wrench to the noggin sneaking up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's junkin', sonny. Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of late to be junkin'? I might as well ask the same thing of you. Find anything good? Bah, ever since Perennial Harvest moved in, even the junk is trash. You can learn a lot about a person by looking at what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded paper and coffee cups. Well, I'd better get going. I didn't see nothing. If you didn't see nothing, see what? Exactly. I'm stuck. Dog.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
What is that? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Look at those two young fools. How did it end up in the How did it end up at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Well, that's quite a haul. Feels like a good time to pack up. Oh, just a little bit longer. Things lasted forever. They might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, Buckaroo. If you ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, let's go fishing, and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yep, top secret. Neat. So that's all of them. That's all of the fish. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to get to the diner, though. Rolo.
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rolo. Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace.
Lumpy embrace.
Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Lucas stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket, a keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense?" Through his tears, Luca laughed. "I think so." His father pulled him in for an embrace. "Time to go, Buckaroo." Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below.
Who is it?
Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5. Dangers Big and Small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Oh. Stop right there. Orel. Sheesh, I know it's dark and all, but I figured you'd recognize me. Who are
The
you?
large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now, or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, 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 take it easy. Luca, you need to get your ass checked. It's me, Rolo. Nice try, but I know you weren't Rolo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle. Luca, quit messing around. It's me. It really is you. Prove it. Flamin' chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rolo, only bigger, older, changed.
What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look!
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower, but beggars can't be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet, too? Dang, I just made me new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so
Luca
small?
moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What
His
the?
hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Kinda tasted like licorice. Passed out and woke up like this, and then I sorta smashed open my cage and escaped. Oh, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least, I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage. Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome! Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right. But this all seems dangerous. Danger. Ha!
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take 'em all on. Hey fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah, take cover. Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? No, this is my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry, you're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret, and I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rollo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened. Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rollo. This has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from the chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay, just need to play it cool and hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You were the one that said change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I took your lesson to
Ilona
heart.
tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work tonight. Her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like a grade A creep. Beck! He is. Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. The people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another
She
peep.
sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey, but that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair
She
more,
flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great, can we get back to the story now? This next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom. I was too angry to sleep, so I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Modewell seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she is working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor. Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir. I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office permanently completely committed to Perennial Harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit. Oh, it's just we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline. And rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You are only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh, yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who's this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah, as far as we know, Kerr is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared of this founder guy, so we haven't even topper banana on the field. What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came in to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? That creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. So she's not coming out. We gotta go in and
Beck
get her.
flipped a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this'll help. You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome mat from Matt. Well, it's really just a welcome mat for my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys! We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. Realize what this is,
Rose
right?
started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6.
Damn, Rolo's excited. Oh. Okay. Oh, that was a good stretch. Honestly though, I don't know how much longer is left on the pizza, but it's all good, Carm. Like, I get it. Sometimes you got stuff to do, so you can't always be here. Like, happens. You came back at like the worst time, Carm. I'm gonna go for supper here soon. Cause yeah, food should be ready like right away, and start of a chapter. So kind of a good place to like stop to pick up for next time. So yeah. We are going to take our extended break for food, everyone. When we come back, we're going to be playing some Dead by Daylight with Ferris, Sushi, and Nightmane, since the new Chaos Shuffle event started today. So yeah. We're gonna be running around. Some chaotic running around when we come back. So yeah, extended break for food, and I will see you all later.